Saturday before it ended. Some 13 hours later, the Bucs may need to double up on their coffee as Garrett Cole looks to reach double digits in wins and drop the league's lowest ERA even more. So wake up. It's time for Pirates baseball on Root Sports.
What a night last night and early this morning. Hour-and-a-half rain delay before we got it going. And then 13 innings of baseball, 4.5 hours before Starling Marte's base hit up the middle. And the Pirates had their first walk-off of the year. This afternoon, it's Game 2 between the Pittsburgh Pirates and their cross-state rivals, the Philadelphia Phillies. Greg Brown along with Bob Walk. Fan jam going on after the game. Big and Rich performing in concert. But let's get to the ball game first of all. And let's get to not only the starting pitching that has been so strong for the Pirates really all year long, Bob. Once again, last night, the bullpen put up a bunch of zeros. 6 different pitchers throwing 7 innings of shutout ball.
If you're going to have a winning team, Greg, you got to have that pitching. And with the era of the pitch count, it is so important to have a bullpen that can come in and pitch that last third of the ball game. And if you see what this bullpen's doing, they have been outstanding. Most important thing, I think, all the way down there at the bottom, 31-1 when leading after 7 innings. That is absolutely fantastic.
See the title there? Save a horse, ride the bullpen. Our graphics department right on. Another Big and Rich reference. How about a guy who's been big, and he's going to be rich down the road, certainly, if he isn't already, and that's Garrett Cole. The Pirates started today. Last time out, Bob, again, 7 shutout innings against the Atlanta Braves.
He was really good, but Greg, did you feel like he really had his good stuff in command?
No.
It was like he just wasn't in sync, but he still put up nothing but zeros. That's the type of pitcher he has become now. He can be off a little bit and still go out there and shut somebody down.
All right, it is Garrett Cole on the hill, the big right-hander for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Buccos trying to make it 2 straight over their cross-state rivals, the Philadelphia Phillies. Buccos were flashing the leather last night and early this morning. Some great defensive work. Game 2 of the series is coming up next.
All on Root Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota helps you get the most out of your drive. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places. By Barrel Automotive, we're driven to be better. And by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Let's go Bucks.
And a beautiful day for baseball right now here in Pittsburgh. And Gerrit Cole will lead his team onto the field here with his 405 start. Cole 9-2, tied for the most wins in the National League with Bartolo Colon, and the lowest earned run average in Major League Baseball, 173. The last two starts, he has given up 2 unearned runs over 14 innings against the Giants and the Braves. And there's Starling Marte, his base hit up the middle with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 13th inning, scored Chris Stewart for the game's only run. On the starting lineup, Ryan Sandberg's Phillies. Ben Revere leads things off. Then it's Odubel Herrera in center. Chase Utley is back in the lineup at second. Ryan Howard returns as the cleanup man at first. Maikel Franco has a 10-game hitting streak going. He's the third baseman. Then it's Cody Ashe, Freddie Galvis, Carlos Ruiz, and Sean O'Sullivan.
I'll take a quick look at Cole's numbers. They are all-star game type numbers for sure, and possibly a real nice down payment on a Cy Young Award. When you look at the record, the ERA, the strikeouts, the low number of walks, I mean, everything is just the way you'd want it. He's certainly setting himself up for some nice personal awards at the end of the year, and hopefully maybe even going very deep into the postseason. That's the kind of pitcher you need right there.
On to defense for the Bucks. Jung Ho Kang is the shortstop. He'll be alongside Josh Harris on the left side. On the right side, it's Neil Walker and Pedro Alvarez. Starling Marte, Andrew McCutchen, Gregory Polanco in the outfield, left to right, with Chris Stewart catching Gerrit Cole. Chris Stewart has been not only strong defensively this season, but his bat has been very productive. He got the rally going with a pinch hit single in the bottom of the 13th last night.
Really used his legs, huh?
Yeah, that infield hit.
And legged out an infield hit, and then scored on that single to center.
I mean, come on now, the literal
flying.
Term, yeah, it was an infield single, but the shortstop grabbed the ball on the outfield grass, but he was flying. And underway, Ben Revere, 1 for 6 last night, takes ball 1. It is 84 degrees. It's a strike. It's 1-1. Jeff Locke benefited from some outstanding defense last night, and to his credit, held it together. And there's a base hit for Ben Revere to start the ball game. Gregory Polanco was the subject of much discussion in Clint Hurdle's office today about how far he has come defensively. He said, you know, when he first arrived here last year, that Clemente wall was not necessarily a friend.
He owns it now.
Yeah. The one last night even better than the one a few days ago. Clint Hurdle said it's a matter of Polanco kind of slowing things down a bit.
You know, Greg, having him out there in the shallow part of the ballpark also, I think, is really taking advantage of that big arm of his. Because when he does play the ball well off that wall, it puts him in such a great position to throw somebody out at second base, trying to get to second on what should be a double. He's really able to contest almost every double that's hit over his head, as long as he gets a good hop off that wall.
And even the one down the right field corner last night, where he got to it quickly, the Cody Ashe base hit with 1 out in the 11th inning. He gunned a strike to Jordy Mercer. Mercer not able to hold on to it, otherwise Ashe would have been out. In fact, the second base umpire called him out, Corey Blazer. Initially it was ruled an error. The official score then changed it to a straight double. 0-1 on Odubel Herrera. Time was called just as Cole was ready to deliver. And that doesn't make Cole real happy. Ben Revere has a dozen steals, by the way, and 15 tries.
Pretty good lead. He's off there a ways.
0-2. Herrera, pinch hitter in the 7th inning, and struck out last night.
See, now's where you have to think strikeout with it, because he's not a hitter that has a real good idea of the strike zone. He basically swings at everything, tries to make contact, never walks. So leave the strike zone, make him chase something here. He will. He's not going to. He's not going to try and fight you to a full count and take a walk.
Gets a piece of that. 0-2 the count on the Rule 5 pick from the Texas Rangers. Odubel Herrera has only walked, to underscore Bob's comment, 8 times all season.
Those kind of hitters, you love getting ahead, because you know that if you can throw a bad pitch, not a horrendous pitch, but a bad pitch, you're going to get a swing at it.
So you're looking to do that now, huh? Out of the strike zone.
Yeah.
Runner goes, taken for a ball. Throw down is late and into center. And the Phillies are going to have a runner at third with nobody out. Stolen base for Revere, his 13th, and then the error on Stewart, his 3rd.
They got a hard slider way inside. The bat's kind of hanging up there. The helmet's out over the plate. He's throwing over the top of that. And Jung Ho, he's got to make that split-second decision. Do I have a chance at an out? If I do, I'm going to try and pick the ball and put a tag down. If that decision is no, we don't have a chance at an out, then you go get that ball so that it doesn't go into center field. He chose to try and get a tag, make a pick, and didn't do it, so man's at third.
Well, we've seen this act before from Garrett Cole. There's a runner at third now with 1 out as he strikes out Herrera with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Rivers Casino tips to win.
The slider has been really the great pitch so far this year. Even though he throws very hard, that's where he's getting a lot of his outs on. And a big change this year, 80% of his sliders are down in the bottom third of the strike zone, and that's way up from last season. That's a big difference. Got to keep that slider down. And then when we got the bats, hunt the fastball. Well, Sullivan has really been getting hurt on his fastball last 3 games.
Now a line drive caught by McCutchen, and this is going to score a run. Took a little bit of time to unload the throw, and not easy to do. So a sacrifice fly RBI for Utley and a 1-0 lead for the Phillies.
The error allowing him to get to third obviously cost the run here. A bit of a double clutch.
Sacrifice fly for Utley. Here's Ryan Howard. He was a pinch hitter last night and grounded out late in the game. See the overshift. Josh Harrison moves from third over to the right side.
4-3 deep.
I asked Nick Leyva about that this morning.
Did you?
Yes, yeah. And Neil Walker. I said, okay, we were kind of joking about it on the radio side last night that we want to come up with names for these different defenses.
So you don't have to describe each one. Yeah.
And Nick Leyva, he showed me the chart, and basically, no, there's no
names.
Set names for it, but that means it's open for us to do.
For us.
Right. So what's this? The weak side 6, 3, 4, 5. What do you call this? Right? The weak side 6, the shortstop there. The 5, the third baseman is over. And that 3, 4, 5.
But you also have the second baseman in shallow right field as opposed to on the dirt. So the name has to have some kind of a descriptive so you know immediately where everybody is out.
It's the weak side 6, 3 shallow 4-5.
It's a little long.
It's all right. I think Label kind of kidding with me. He said, "What is this, football? We're barking out defensive signals." Yeah. Kind of. 2-2 on Howard.
It's so that when you're on radio, you can just give the name of the defense, and you've probably
don't have to go through the whole thing about the third
you've already
baseman
described it several times. So anybody that has jotted down, taken some notes, they know when you name the defense, they can picture exactly where everybody's at by the name of the defense.
Still 2-2 on Howard. And Cole gets him. Oh, an unearned run against Garrett Cole in the half inning. Phillies up by a run. Run. Here is the Pirates starting lineup, brought to you by Toyota. Gregory Polanco ready to step in. Starling Marte next. Then Andrew McCutcheon with Neil Walker hitting cleanup. Josh Harrison in the 5 spot. Pedro Alvarez, Jung Ho Gong playing shortstop today. Chris Stewart behind the plate. Garrett Cole on the mound.
Sean O'Sullivan, ERA up almost 5. As I mentioned earlier, last 3 starts been getting knocked around a little bit, and seems to be his fastball that's the culprit. Looking at his average velocities of that fastball, they have really started to come down. He's not a hard thrower to begin with, but averages up in the high 80s.
Polanco last night was 0 for 7. His average dipping to 246. It was 255 at the start of the day yesterday. But he did line out a couple of times, including one unusual 1-4 line out. Hit off of the pitcher, Kevin Correa, and popped up in the air, was caught by the second baseman. Second time the Pirates have seen O'Sullivan this season. Back on May the 12th in Philadelphia. He went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs in a 7-2 Pirates victory. And Polanco was 0 for 3, but hit the ball hard a couple of times against him. And this ball lined into right field.
There's that fastball, just 87. Not much steam on it.
Polanco is 3rd in the league in stolen bases, has 16 of them. Caught 4 times. And Starling Marte, who drove in his 42nd run of the year last night. The game-winning RBI and the Pirates' first walk-off. This ball hit in the air toward right. Marte was convinced it was a foul ball.
He had that one read right.
He stood there at home plate. He was certain that was going to be foul, and it was.
That's foul. You could tell as it was leaving the bat.
Yep. Foul ball. Oh well.
And right about now he's going, I hope that's foul.
It better be foul. Better be foul. One ball and one strike.
That's his weak spot right there. That's where everybody tries to pitch him. The up and in corner of the strike zone. If you look at hot zone, cold zone type stuff, that's going to be the cold area. Doesn't like it up and in.
There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. And a stolen base. And had it not been for Galvis, Polanco would have wound up at third. 17 steals for Polanco.
Not a good toss at all on that one. And you can see Utley did the same thing. He tried to catch it and make a tag instead of just keeping it in the infield.
One-two count on Marte. And Polanco going to try for third base, and he's going to be safe. The ball trickles away.
Well, you could see that happening, that the ball was going to hit it. You could see it happening. Polanco was going to run right into the baseball.
So Galvis decides to try to get the runner at third.
Well, he's got a shot, but I mean, this is a kind of a low percentage shot with a fast runner. Where is there room to get the ball by the runner? Well, the only room is if you throw wide, so that the third baseman can then reach. But if you throw wide, now you're probably not going to get him, because now the ball is going to have to be caught and then brought back for a tag. Just a very low percentage, especially in the first inning of a ball game. You got to get an out on that.
Here comes Polanco for the plate, and he's going to be safe at the plate as the ball gets away from Ruiz. Polanco all over the place. It's tied at 1.
He causes some problems out there on the base paths. You look at his batting average, and it's 240 something, and you think, wow, he's really not, doing as much as he could be. But you think of everything else that he brings to the table, the way he can run on the bases. We talked already a bunch about his defense out in right field.
And I was going to go back and ask you about something you've talked about a lot with him, is that feet first slide. And looking at even Franco, the third baseman, that throw from the shortstop.
He wanted no part of it, didn't he?
He didn't want to even be involved in it. And if it's a head first slide, not only might the throw be better, but Franco's more apt to want to be there, dig in, and apply the tag. And even to a degree, Ruiz with the feet first slide.
The reason I think I bring that up a lot is because I've seen so many injuries on the head first slide over the last half dozen years. It became so popular, and guys getting hurt on it all the time, and over sliding the base and getting called out because they can't get their foot stuck on the bag. And when I first came to the big leagues, I played with and played against and saw him a ton is Lonnie Smith, and he was always a train wreck going into the bag. Late hard slides, no infielder wanted to hang around and make a tag on him. And I see the same type of stuff with Polanco.
Polanco, the stolen base, and he was ready to pop up and go to third, had that ball going into center, and then he took off on the bouncer to the left side of the infield.
Lightning Lonnie.
And he scores on what is ruled a fielder's choice RBI.
Skates.
Still no one out. Skates,
that was his real
Smith,
nickname.
Lonnie Smith, right? That could be 2. It is. Walker bounces into the 4-6-3 double play. So here in the first inning, we have our Chick-fil-A double play. Pretty routine there. Utley, Gavis, Howard.
Yep. It's about as easy as it gets.
Marte at third with 2 outs and a tie game. Here's Josh Harrison, 4 for 6 last night. One of his home runs this year coming against Sean O'Sullivan in Philadelphia last month. O'Sullivan has given up 9 homers in 8 starts. By the way, how did Skates, the nickname Skates, just...
Well, I was going to say, do you remember the play that Polanco didn't make in Chicago? The pop fly into the game where he fell down?
Yeah, kind of tripped over himself.
That's Lonnie Smith to a T also. And that's how he got to the name Skates. A lot of times he couldn't stay upright.
Toward left field, that's going to drop in. 2-1 Buccos.
He's got the hot hand right now, doesn't he? Be patient with those Rogers. With a fastball. Straight as a string, both directions. Went out as a line drive.
Was the Pirates' 110th RBI with 2 outs this season. That's the 3rd most in the league. Padres are tops in that department with 116 2-out RBIs.
They don't always knock in the run, but when they do, there's 2 outs.
Stay thirsty. Marte and Polanco scoring the runs, erasing the 1-0 deficit. Alvarez 0 for 2 with a pair of walks in last night's game. Lefty's hitting .377 against Sean O'Sullivan.
I really like this matchup here today. Pedro,
7 homers of the 9 hit against O'Sullivan have come versus left-handed hitters.
See Pedro hitting one of those long rainbows over the stands.
You see it now?
Yep.
You can see it.
Picture it. There it goes.
I will say you are due. Popped up. Third baseman Franco going to give way to Galvis. The shortstop makes the catch. Pirates pick up 2 and now have the lead after 1.
Here on the North Shore, I'm Robbie. It's Mikowski. Clint Hurdle allowed his Pirates to report late. How late today? Actually, 2 hours ago right now, 2:30 was at report time, and the manager earlier today explained why he let the guys come in so close to game time.
Just like to mix it up and let them know they don't have to be a slave to the routine. I got to go to hip-hop dance today and tennis lessons. Normally I would have had to pass on both those. So basically I might have just done it for myself.
So let's clarify that. Clint Hurdle did not take hip-hop dance and tennis lessons. Those were for his son Christian. He and his daughter Maddie, actually, Greg and Bob, shagged tennis balls for Christian while he played tennis, and watch him dance a little bit. But it would be kind of cool to see Clint Hurdle take hip-hop dance lessons, wouldn't it?
Yeah, operative word, hip-hop.
Brand new hip.
Yeah. The hipster. Clint Hurdle, who earned his 900th career win last night. Said kind of described his career, just keep grinding. Base hit for Franco, whose hit streak is now up to 11 straight games. Barrel Automotive League leaders, wins among active managers: Bruce Bochy, Mike Scioscia, Buck Showalter, Terry Francona, and Clint Hurdle.
Pretty good milestone coming up next at 1,000.
In his 5th year as Pirates manager. Cody Ashe was 1 for 5 last night. A couple of homers, 6 RBIs for Cody Ashe, who turns 25 at the end of the month. And a great day for Cruz. Ball and 1 strike. A shout out to Bernice Pohalski watching her Buccos. I was told to really shout it out too. That's what I did. And a happy 45th wedding anniversary to 2 great Pirate fans, Karen and Tom Hoffman. And a line drive, Polanco back, and that ball almost carried over his head. He kept going back. He's got such long arms, he can bring it back.
You know, I'm kind of guessing that he didn't really think it was going to carry that far when it was first hit. And even after it got in the glove, didn't it look like we saw a lot of baseball? A little hesitation. Didn't read that right. And then turned it into a little bit of a snow cone.
Look at that.
Right up in the end.
Freddie Galvis at the plate with 1 out. It is early, but it is unusual to see 4 hard hit line drives off of Garrett Cole. First 6 batters: Revere, Utley, Franco, and Ashe.
Getting that out of his system.
Yeah. Falls behind 2-0. Going back to September 7th last year, he's gone 13-2 at 2.11 ERA. Most win in the major leagues over that stretch. He is 11-2 here at PNC Park over the last 18 starts. Two and two.
You know, really a big variation so far in the velocity numbers. Last one 96. I believe there was a 93 earlier. I mean, he could be trying to turn one over a little bit, a 2-seamer, maybe like getting it to run, not trying to spot it. Who knows? But you would think, you have an extra day off, he'd be pretty strong this afternoon. Hot, muggy, should be able to really get loose. Some pitchers, they love this kind of weather.
And a line drive, base hit. First and second.
That's not even a strike, Greg. Curveball outside. He was trying to backdoor it. The slider has been the breaking ball that's been so good this year.
Here's Carlos Ruiz, the Phillies catcher.
Opposition this year hitting just 172 off the slider. They're hitting over 300 off his curveball. The slower breaking ball isn't getting it done, and it didn't in that case. And he really hasn't thrown many curveballs or changeups this year. The vast majority of his pitch has been that power fastball and a hard slider.
Ruiz, a drive toward left center field. Over is McCutchen. Makes the drive. McCutchen has been covering a lot of ground over the past week plus. And Ruiz is retired for the second out. Franco tags and moves to third on the play.
You know, I think that where I really noticed McCutchen really jetting into those gaps. San Diego, remember that?
Yep. Flying in the gaps.
Yeah.
Yep. Sean O'Sullivan, 1 hit in 13 at bats. Three hits in his career. Over 26 ABs. He has spent time with the Angels, Royals, Padres, and in his second season in the Phillies organization.
Good for him. Sometimes you can talk to those because they have the spin. They might hook back across the chalk line.
Still 0-2.
And when you got the kind of stuff, the raw stuff that Cole has, this is where you got to really strike out your opposing pitcher. You don't even lie and get the ball put in play. The reason, obviously, there's somebody at third base, and if he hits a ball somewhere, you could get lucky. A ground ball might make it through the hole. A little blooper could fall in. Got to go for the strikeout now. 0-2 count, way out in front.
A 1-2 count on O'Sullivan. He has struck out 6 times in 13 at bats. Puts the ball in play, but Gunn will throw him out. A wide throw, but Alvarez takes care of it. 2 men left stranded.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. By Bud Light, stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Day Automotive, we're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
2-1 Pirates lead, going to the bottom of the second inning. Beautiful PNC Park. We'll take off of the green weenie there, huh?
Pretty nice hats. Good summertime hat. Like Robinson Crusoe.
Here's Jung Ho Kang leading off, bottom of the second. Line drive toward right center field. Man, that ball's hit hard. That exit velocity off of his bat has to be among the tops in the game.
I thought that ball might, hit and scoot through there.
Lead-off hit for Kang. Then Revere able to get over there quickly.
Yeah, he did a good job of cutting that ball off.
Telling Herrera to move over toward right center with Chris Stewart at the plate. Stewart had the pinch hit single in the bottom of the 13th and scored the winning run. He has 5 hits in his last 9 at bats.
I would think, Greg, that this might be a good candidate, O'Sullivan, to use hit and runs, because he's not a swing and miss type guy. If he's going to throw that fastball up there, you got to have pretty good confidence, wouldn't you, that the hitter is going to at least be able to foul it off. And now you got a good count, 2-1. This is certainly a very well-known hit and run count.
Batting averages, catchers in the National League. Pirates have the top 2. Minimum 50 at bats. Cervelli and Stewart, quite a combination. Now it is 3-1. Signed as a minor league free agent by the Phillies before last season and spent most of last year in the minors. Sean O'Sullivan. Ball 4, perfect. This will allow Cole to try and sacrifice the runners.
Yeah, that worked out. Cole will drop down this bunt, hopefully. The third baseman make sure Franco has to be the guy to come in and field it. And he will have done his job. He needs to keep his eye on Galvis out at shortstop, make sure the wheel play's not on.
Phillies fan.
You're looking, when you're going to be standing there, you're going to be looking beyond the pitcher at the shortstop. And what he does tells you whether you bunt or swing. Right there. Just look right straight out there to that shortstop. Now you see the shortstop suddenly start running toward third, then you know that you got to swing the bat. Otherwise, just put the ball down. Well, Cole is upset. Hopefully at himself. That was a good pitch to bunt. Over the inside half of the plate. He's trying to bunt the ball to third.
Again, the shot gives you a great look at the infielders.
Hey, you're going to watch the shortstop. Now, if he runs to third, then you know, without even looking, that the third baseman is charging and you can't bunt the ball that way.
Oh, stumble by Ruiz. He scrambles and gets there. That could have been a real disaster for the Phillies. Cole does his job.
Because the bunt didn't go very far, I think Ruiz really thought he had a great shot at third base. So he got in a big hurry to try and jump on that ball and get it to third.
Watch skates Ruiz.
Yeah, he got leaning a little too far forward. Kept his wits about him, though. Able to get at least one out.
But you're right, that was his thinking all along. He thought he had a great shot at third. And in his haste, couldn't stay upright.
Haste makes waste.
That's right. That's right. Now the infield starts to back up. Polanco at the plate. Third baseman Franco stays even with the bag. Howard a couple of steps back of first. One ball, one strike. Polanco has 15 RBIs. And you see a solid .293 average in these situations. In front, 1-2.
They're really trying to crowd Polanco. Didn't want him to lift that ball out to left field. So everything is in. A couple of fastballs in, and the last pitch a breaking ball that came inside. You see the location. Everything in.
Fly ball to shallow left center. This will not do it.
Nope. I'll tell you, that's a impressive job. I think O'Sullivan pitching right there, hitting his spots. You know, he doesn't throw real hard, but he's still able to stop a run from scoring from third with 2 outs because of his location.
Stayed with that game plan.
Keeps the ball in. It's tough to get the ball to the outfield that way. If that ball is out over the plate a little bit further, that's where you're going to lift that nice medium deep fly ball to left, score a run. Or if the ball is out away, even if you try and pull it, you can roll over on it. You're going to hit a ground ball to second. Infield was back, score a run that way. Those smart pitches and execution was there also. Both things he needed. And now we need one of those 2 out RBIs, Greg. Would you say we're number 3 in baseball?
Correct. 110 RBIs with 2 outs this season. And Marte is the league leader, individual league leader, with 2 out RBIs. He has 25 of his 42 ribbies coming with 2 outs. By the way, both the Pirates and the Phillies, all kinds of chances last night in a 1-0 game, 13 innings. Pirates left 17. The Phillies left 13. That is not the major league record. The record is 32, set in 1968. In a 24-inning game between the Mets and the Astros that went 1-0. Thanks to Mark Wendell at Newcastle asking us that question. He tweeted us. And now a conversation there between Ruiz and O'Sullivan. Arch enemies, the Fanatic and the Parrot. Those are imposters right there.
Scouts for the Fanatic.
Yep.
Those are Fanatic scouts.
They don't hide very well.
They're on a mission, trying to
they try and blend in normally, the scouts.
See what the Parrot's up to.
And now 1-2 on Marte. Two and two. Gong single to start the inning. Chris Stewart walked. They were sacrificed 90 feet by Garrett Cole. Had to stay there when Polanco popped up. Now Marte trying to come through. Tied for 9th in the league with a dozen ribbies. 5th in the senior circuit with 42 runs knocked in. Well ahead of last year's pace for Marte. Chopper, second baseman Utley coming on, and a little glove to glove. That's not going to do it. That's an RBI infield hit, and it's 3-1.
Just couldn't get enough on the flip, glove to glove.
Marte can beat you in so many ways.
Got the great bat speed. It has the power. The ball just hanging too long in the air. Didn't make it either, did it? The ball bounced. Yep.
Bucks lead 3-1. Stewart goes to third. Gong scores. 43 RBIs on the season for Marte. And here's Andrew McCutchen. He picked up a ribby. On a bouncer to third. .84 degrees at game time. The 18th pitch of this inning. These long innings can be a grind for these pitchers in this heat. So you need the fans, and a lot of on hand here this afternoon. 33,749 last night. Two and 0.
Not much room, is there?
No.
This is packed.
Tomorrow afternoon, it's A.J. Burnett against Cole Hamels, 1:35. Then the White Sox in for 2. Interleague series starts Monday night. Andrew McCutchen.
Sometimes you just get mesmerized by the boat traffic out there. The commercial stuff right now. Big barge going up there. It's just look at that. To sit here in this ballpark and just watch the game and see all the crazy things. Don't say they put another shovel full of sand in there, it'll sink.
There at the middle. Oh, what a stop by Utley! What a play, but he's safe at second.
Marte beats another one out.
Stewart scores. Andrew McCutchen has picked up a couple of ribbies with ground balls. Thanks to great speed on the bases.
Marte able to get 2 runs basically by just having the great speed. Off the bat, I thought maybe this was hit a little harder, would make it up to the middle clean, but now watching the replay, it's off the end. Didn't quite have the steam to get through there. Utley made a great catch, but for the second time this inning, he's foiled by Marte being able to just outrun it. Notice that?
Feet
Slide.
first. Yeah.
Feet first.
Yep.
I like it a lot.
2 on. And a fly ball to shallow center. Herrera will make the catch. So the Pirates, the speed of Polanco and Marte have been big this afternoon. The thrill of unexpected, never should have happened victories. The Buccos own a riveting collection of these wins, and you'll see them all on Inside Pirates Baseball. 10 great comebacks. It debuts Tuesday after postgame on Root Sports. UPMC scoreboard, Pirates now lead 4-1. Starling Marte been involved. Took the coal train from Altoona to PNC Park around Horseshoe Curve. 0-1 on Ben Revere. See what Cole does the second time around for this lineup. Another line drive base hit. Revere 2 for 2. Phillies now with 4 hits.
The best contact anybody's made off Cole in a while, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Without question. Yep.
Fastball at 94. MPH is down today. Now Cole, we've seen occasionally to where he can step it up when he gets in a little bit of trouble. He might just be having it on cruise control a little bit right now, trying to conserve a little bit on a hot, humid day with a 3-run lead.
Struck out Herrera in the first inning. Stays 0-2. This season, runners are on base against him. Opposition hits 193. The base is empty. 262.
Kind of what we were talking about, to make him flip a switch. Add a little more steam to everything. No leg kick at all that time. Almost like a quick pitch.
Struck him out, as we mentioned, in the first inning. Guy that doesn't walk much, just gets a piece of that.
Yeah, that one go. That's 97. He added a little bit there. He's going for that strikeout.
.24 years old, Garrett Cole. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and a stolen base. Second for Revere. Second time Herrera has gone down on strikes. The third K for Cole.
And Revere twice now has picked good pitches to run on. Think he might be peeking in. This one a slider that actually was down in the dirt. That's what base runners will love to do. That if they can get a big enough lead off first base, they'll look in, see if they can see a sign. So they want to run on a breaking ball, an off-speed pitch.
Revere has done that twice.
Either that or he's just guessing right.
Utley, a sacrifice fly in the first inning, a line drive out to center. His 25th RBI. Yes, he does.
Yeah, that's.
Ask the gypsies in the trailer.
No, don't ask them.
They will confirm. Well, that's all you're looking for, is just confirmation that you rule, and they'll tell you you rule. You do. You rule the roost up here, Bob.
No, that's
don't
not
laugh.
true,
Come on.
No, you know that that's
it's so true.
Not the way it
Everybody
goes.
knows it. And
there's the king right there. Look at it.
Whatever
like
you say, he does.
That's a throne right there.
By the way, I caught on camera. I'll tweet it out tomorrow morning. My spies were out. Found out who he was interviewing for tomorrow's radio pregame.
Oh, I think I got
Did
a good
you see
idea.
It?
Yeah,
I sent it to you.
Yes, I did see it.
I don't want to reveal it.
No.
Top secret.
It is.
Let's put it this way: it won't be a surprise. .98 there to Utley. Fouled it back.
So you're going to tweet that, you say?
Yeah, I'll tweet it in the morning.
That way everybody will know.
Yeah.
They can prepare themselves.
That's right. Well, the young pitcher trying to put away a veteran here. With a runner at second and one out. Two products of UCLA. Chase Utley, He was a second-round pick originally of the Dodgers in '97, then went to UCLA and became a first-rounder of the Phillies 3 years later. Facing a Pirates first-rounder out of UCLA. First pick 4 years ago was Garrett Cole, first pick in the nation. And Utley drives one the other way. Marte back. 2 outs. Utley is retired. Tomorrow, Pirates and Phillies, 1:35, Kids Day. And all youngsters 14 and under get an Andrew McCutcheon compression sleeve. Compliments of Mrs. T's Pierogies. Don't forget about the #1 Cochran Family Fun Zone out on Federal Street before the game. And after the game, kids can run the bases, courtesy of the original pizza logs. For tickets, go to pirates.com. A lot of youngsters on hand this afternoon. Plenty more tomorrow. And kids love him. Ryan Howard, a strikeout victim in the first.
A low slider, 2 up.
Strikes out Ryan Howard. That one 98. Spends a morning with former Pirate Dick Groat, here from the Pittsburgh native, as he discusses the Pitt Panthers, the Pirates, and what it was like being a two-sport athlete during the 1950s on A Day in the Life, Tuesday at 6 on Root Sports. Dick Groat was out on Federal Street before the game last night, signing autographs. There he is. 1960 MVP, Dick Groat.
What an incredible athlete. I mean, I really...
He was like the Bo Jackson before Bo Jackson.
I just don't think people realize that you go back and look at the things that he accomplished as an athlete, you're like, wow, but just some amazing stuff.
Played pro basketball before playing for the Pirates.
Like a great career at Duke as a basketball player. He get signed by the Pirates out of college, and he just kind of stepped in and took over the shortstop job at the big leagues.
Apparently, he was telling this morning, telling a story on the radio that he was in the, I guess, at the ballpark with Branch Rickey, who was the general manager of the Pirates at the time, and Branch Rickey said, "Hey, if you sign today, you'll be in the big leagues tomorrow with us, playing at Forbes Field." He said, "I got to go back to Duke." He says, "But if you have that same offer on the table next year, I'll sign." And sure enough, a year later, Branch Rickey signs him to the original deal.
And there he was, our shortstop.
Pretty wild. Great guy.
No,
great guy.
Awesome guy.
2-2 on Harrison, who singled in a run in the first. By the way, want to pass along our best wishes to Bill Bekovac. Big Buccos fan, bouncing back strong. Bill, thinking about you. Bill Bekovac, watching the Pirates. As Galvis retires Harrison. So 1 up and 1 down, and first time the first 3 innings that O'Sullivan has retired the first man.
Duck goose.
Dinner time.
Maybe that's where Pedro's hitting this ball. To the boats.
Popped up to short his first time.
Good rally cry for a Pirate. To the boats.
Yeah. Past the pitcher, and Alvarez will be retired for the second out. It's the third baseman Franco over there. 5-3 on the putout. Catch the excitement of Bucco baseball here at PNC Park this summer with the Pirates Summer 6-pack. It's presented by Papa John's, and for as low as $99, you lock in your seats and price when you build your own 6-game plan. Plus, each summer 6-pack comes with a complimentary large 2-topping pizza from Papa John's. Find out more at pirates.com/summer. Jung Ho Gong takes ball 1. He led off last inning with a base hit to right. Bunch of Philly fans on hand here.
More fanatic scouts.
Phillies will go to Baltimore after this series. Interleague set against the Orioles at Camden Yards.
Not a long trip for him.
Young draws the walk. Second free pass allowed by O'Sullivan. Here's up Chris Stewart. A rare walk drawn by Chris Stewart his first time.
Lays off a nice pitch here, first one. Showing some
62 plate appearances. Stewart has walked twice. Kevin Correa made his Phillies debut last night. Pitched a good ball game. O'Sullivan with a couple of walks. 5 hits, 4 runs. As you think about it, Pirates have scored some runs on some ground balls to infielders. It's not like they're knocking the cover off the ball so far. It's early. 57 pitches. 2 outs in the 3rd. Toward right. And a catch made by Revere. Pirates up 4-1. By the way, the Cardinals are playing this afternoon and tied at 2 with the Royals in St. Louis, that I-70 series. They call up Tyler Lyons to take the place of Lance Lynn. Jeremy Guthrie on the mound for Kansas City. Pirates start the day 6.5 back of the Cardinals. Cubs are 7 behind. Cubs will take on the Reds tonight. Thank you, Simons.
It's out on the porch, isn't it? One of the new areas here. Got the couch. A great place to watch the game from. There's the double play count.
Three and one. Michael Franco. And a fair ball. Franco heading to second. And he is there with a stand-up double.
Seems like Cole doesn't seem to have that really easy inning. 93 off the plate inside. So is that a fastball, Greg, you think?
I don't know.
Much.
I mean,
93.
Yeah.
Somebody just taking a little off. We've seen the 97s.
Struck out Howard with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball to end the third.
Really, it is going up and down. Big swings.
Ashe lined out to Polanco in the second. Six, 1-2. 4-1 ball game. Cole allowing the unearned run in the first.
A nice catch by that gentleman up there. Front row of the club section. If you're a young fan, that's where you want to sit.
A tough play here. Cole will get the out.
No, tough play for Garrett.
Today's Allegheny Health Network injury update. Astros Jose Altuve left the game last night against the Mariners, pulled his right hamstring, listed as day-to-day, won't play today. A.J. Hinch, his manager, said he doesn't think the injury is serious enough to place him on the disabled list. The Astros, despite a long losing streak, they rebounded with a win last night, are 2.5 up on Texas in the American League West.
Getting hammered today. 8-0 behind in the fourth inning.
Texas is beating the Twins early. Infield back. Galvis singled to right.
Need that strikeout right here. Watch the fastball velocities. 97.
RBI for Galvis. The second run of the game for the Phillies. On the road traveling and want to watch your Pirates? So subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on demand on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Watch it on your phone.
Checking scores. Looking at the highlights. Reading about Altuve. It'll really come in handy. Checking out the MLB.com. We're getting into the rumor season here pretty soon. All the trade talk's going to be firing up. It's always a fun time, I think, for baseball fans. Look out there and think who you might be able to get. Read the rumors.
'98 missed, 3-2.
Yeah, the velocity's there when he wants it.
great to see the catches. There's always the little discussion afterwards about how it happened.
You don't just catch the ball. You got to talk about how you caught it.
What you were thinking as it was coming down.
Show it off.
I got it. I'm right here. I'm okay. And then after like maybe 45 seconds or so, then you decide, then you might show it to somebody. But at first, you hold on to it yourself.
That one 99, by the way.
Definitely trying to stay away from it.
Ninth pitch of this at bat coming up.
74 for the game.
Striking out, looking at the breaking ball. That's his fifth. The Phils get a run for $2.
Presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
4-2, Pirates lead it going to the bottom of the fourth inning at PNC Park. Fan Jam, Big and Rich going to perform in concert after the game. Here's Bucko pitcher Garrett Cole. The line and right.
Garrett needs a hit. Get that batting average back over 200.
So we make the catch there?
No.
A ball, one strike. Cole has 5 hits so far this season. Pirates pitchers with 15 hits. That's tied for the 5th most among all ball clubs for pitchers.
Definitely a sore spot last year. Other teams' pitchers really did well against us. And other than Cole, we didn't do much at all.
Stays alive. First strikeout of the game for Sean O'Sullivan, our T-Mobile game changer. The speed of Gregory Polanco. He steals second base in the first inning, goes to third on a ground ball. He's safe, and then he'll score in a ground ball to third. So Andrew McCutchen gets an RBI there thanks to Polanco, and here Marte uses his legs to beat on an infield hit, picks up an RBI, and McCutchen gets another ribby thanks to the speed of Marte as he beats the throw from Utley, allowing Stewart to score. Line toward right center field. This could be fun to watch. He will gallop to second, and he's going to settle for a double. That was out there in a hurry. Bullet to right center.
I'm surprised, Greg. This one hit so hard, didn't break the catcher pile.
Yes.
Ripping that one out there for Polanco. I mean, see that little step around first base where kind of like it's skates.
Yeah, kind of being aware of your body parts.
Yeah.
Really is what it is. And figuring it all out. Marte 1 for 2. Point Park University tweets about the speed at the top of this order with Polanco and Marte.
Keeping a sharp eye on Polanco out of second base. Utley sneaking way in behind.
And there's a base hit. Sofield going to wave home. Polanco out at the plate. Great throw from Ashe, and Ruiz applies the tag.
Well, what happened there is that because there is only one out, Polanco can't run on the crack of the bat. He's got to wait to see. There was a little bit of a hesitation to wait and see if that ball got through. And that little bit of a hesitation. Boy, that's real close, isn't it?
That's a real good job by Ruiz.
Yeah. See the hesitation? And that's what he got thrown out by, that hesitation. There's the tag again.
The catcher has to give the runner a lane, otherwise the runner can barrel him over.
Don't hear much about that anymore.
No, I don't know that anybody tries it.
Well, I mean, you don't hear, like, he is set up right standing on top of the foul line. So Polanco, if he's going to go to the plate, has to go wide, go around him. He had no choice. So I just,
because as long as you don't vary your path, you can, if you establish that, that's what they say.
I don't know, Greg.
If you establish that lane, you could barrel over the catcher.
I have no idea. All I know is the only way for him to get to the plate would have been either through the catcher or go wide. And they've legislated any type of contact out of the game, as far as I know. So what was Polanco going to do?
One and one on McCutchen. Pirates now with 7 hits. Well, 3-1. McCutcheon hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position. Nothing close there, so McCutcheon draws the walk. 3 for O'Sullivan. It'll be up to Neil Walker with 2 outs. Walker has bounced into a double play and flied out to center. Who gets it? All right. Oh, hold on to it.
It'll be a youngster.
It's yours now.
Just try to get tickets that are close to where the ball girls are, and you will go home with souvenirs.
Ball to strike on Walker. 1 for his last 15 at bats. See his numbers with 2 outs and men in scoring position.
Sure use a run this inning after getting one thrown out at the plate and giving up a run in the top of the inning. Once you establish a lead, you don't ever want to see it start to dwindle. Either maintain it or get it to grow a little bit.
Phillies have lost 17 of their last 22 games. They've lost 8 straight on the road, and their record away from Philadelphia is 7-24. He's out in front of Walker now. It's 3-2, and Chooch is going to talk to him. Carlos Ruiz out to talk with O'Sullivan.
They can't afford to give up any more runs. If it's earlier in the ball game and you haven't already given up 4, you can maybe not worry about too much about getting a big part of the plate, but I think this is all about having to try and make the perfect pitch. You don't want Walker to come up with that big hit right now. That's the bad part of falling behind, giving up 4 runs early. You got to be perfect now the rest of the time you're out there. Had to make a good pitch and did. He put that right on the inside edge. Just placed that fastball. He's hit some good spots with his fastball this afternoon.
Faced the Giants his last time out, went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs. And now they're loaded for Harrison. Bob McClure, the Phillies pitching coach, head to the mound. We saw McClure and Ryan Sandberg air out Ken Giles last night, the reliever. Giles in the 8th inning did not want to intentionally walk Pedro Alvarez and had to be settled down by his catcher, Cameron Rupp. And he made quite a scene. Eventually, when he got the last out, striking out Jordy Mercer, went back to the bench, and both McClure and Sandberg really gave it to him. Cole Hamels at one point stepped in between McClure and Ken Giles. Even Larry Bowa was involved. Giles afterwards said the emotions got the best of him. Harrison now looking for a big hit. He has singled in a run and bounced to short.
We have to turn the lights on soon.
Yeah, well, I was going to say the same thing.
It's getting dark. Gray clouds moving in. I'll turn them on for the top of the inning.
Broken bat roller. Third baseman over. And he gets there. Franco to Howard to retire Josh Harrison. The Pirates leave them loaded. Kobayashi with a fine play to nail a runner.
Top half of the 5th inning. Well, earlier today on Federal Street, the Pirates started off a partnership with the PA Coalition Against Domestic Violence to say no more to domestic violence and sexual abuse. It's an effort to raise awareness to the very important topic of domestic violence. The Pirates hosted a fair on Federal Street prior to the game today that featured 20 nonprofit domestic violence support organizations. The several Pirates are going to be involved in a public service announcement, including Andrew McCutcheon, Josh Harrison, and Neil Walker, saying the words no more. And fans, you saw a moment ago, signed a Father's Day pledge. You can get more information at PASayNoMore.com, in which they can promise to help domestic violence and gender assault in their community. So the Pirates today, Greg and Bob, doing their part in the community.
Had that message on the scoreboard, Robbie, and Pirates players and Clint Hurdle did a great job with that PSA. Sean O'Sullivan, the pitcher, takes 1 ball, 1 strike.
Going down the end of the hallway, Greg. Give him 20 minutes. I hit the light switch for you.
Thank you.
It should start to brighten up in here a little bit now.
Boy, it worked fast.
Yeah.
And that's fast work. 6th strikeout for Cole.
Cole needs to work efficient these next couple innings. We're 22 pitches away from the century mark. Although did throw what 115 last time.
One ball, 1 strike on Revere. He's 2 for 2. This should be routine for McCutchen. Garrett Cole has not had a 1-2-3 inning yet. Working on it here.
I would like it to be 1-2-3 and maybe a 2-pitch at bat. You got the guy up there that loves to swing. So you get a nice opportunity. None of the innings have been really easy. 16's not bad. Everything else a couple more than you'd like. Chased after that one. So talking to himself after he was able to stop the bat. I like it. It's a 10-pitch inning.
Yeah, you want it in 2 pitches or less? Well, we'll take 3 for the Herrera AB. It's a quick 1-2-3. Coyotes coming to Stage AE June 19th. Great images from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. Garrett Cole discussing things with Neil Walker. Alvarez has popped up and bounced to third into that shift, the third baseman. Franco's on the right side of the infield. Come on, Pete, battle, says Jeff Branson.
Okay, got a deep second baseman, no third baseman. Gotta come up with a name for that type of shift. Second baseman in the outfield, nobody at third. Or we could just say that. You know, the names aren't precedent. You know, you could always, people have always said forever, you know, the infield's playing to pull.
Yeah.
Not really saying where each guy is,
Yeah,
you're just saying they're playing to pull.
Yeah.
And that tells you the type of defense they're playing in the infield.
The difference is that the last couple of years they've actually moved the third baseman over to the right side of the infield.
Oh yeah, and that's why you have all these new formations basically that you can't just say, oh, they're playing into pull. Well, no, there's guys are way out of their normal position.
There's the second baseman and shallow right. The thing about that play, Bob, is a lot of times the second baseman would have made that play anyway, but he's on the outfield grass, so they make a big deal out of that.
I think the only thing that does is and some teams don't even take advantage of it, is it allows the first baseman now to guard the line and take away a double hit over the back.
As you say, some teams don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's not much reason to play the outfielder out there. I think we've had this discussion with John a couple of times, other than maybe take away the rare line drive that would be hit out that direction.
And that's so rare.
But it does allow the first baseman to move over toward the line a little bit, because he knows anything to his right, the second baseman who's playing in the outfield is going to be able to get.
Gong gets one to Utley. So O'Sullivan, like Cole in the top of the fifth, who had not retired the side in order. Cole did just that moments ago, and O'Sullivan on his way to retiring the side in order as he gets the first two. Chris Stewart will look to get on. He's walked and lined out to right. I'm guessing that's the youngest Pirate fan here today. Stewart towards shallow center field. Oh, look at that play by Chase Utley. Chase Utley. Superb play in shallow center. Tremendous play out in shallow center field.
And turned back to his right just in time. Make that little basket catch.
Still can make some plays at the age of 36. So Sullivan has his first 1-2-3 inning. Thanks to Utley. Bachelor party happening today. At club level. That didn't miss by a lot. Utley and everybody else was kind of waiting for Jeff Nelson to say strike one.
Yeah, perhaps it stayed outside just a little bit.
So look at that. Utley leans. 2-0. Pop up. Gone. One up, one down in the 6th. 7 straight set down now by Cole. Look at Terry. He's everywhere and he directs the fans. Sometimes we hate to reveal a trade secret, but he does prompt the studio audience. This ballpark is his studio.
He does warm them up, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. There he is. Yep.
You see, because you gave away my secret. A few of those this afternoon. A down and in breaking ball. It's the curveball, the slower of the 2 breaking pitches. Just like you're sitting there in the stands. Hey, Greg, what one of the things I've thought about today on one of those shots that we've had. Oh, look at that beautiful pitch. Fastball. Right on the inside corner. Howard thought it was a little too far in. Still shaking his head.
7th strikeout, and he has set down 8 in a row now, and 11 of 12.
Yeah, Howard might have been right. That was an inch inside.
He's gotten Howard each of his 3 at bats. And Howard did have a gripe, as you saw.
Even if it was on the corner, I don't know if he was going to be able to swing at it. That was a good fastball, locked him up.
So you were thinking.
Well, we always talk about how beautiful this ballpark is, but you and I were sitting up here and we're looking out at the city, the river, all that stuff. It doesn't make much difference. Even if you're sitting out in the outfield looking back this direction, it's absolutely
any angle.
Gorgeous, yeah. And
another gorgeous 9-pitch inning, and now he has retired 9 in a row and 12 of 13.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network. Health for all. By Kenny Ross, Ask a Neighbor. And by Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture showrooms and freestanding stores. Let's go Bucks!
It is 4-2 Bucks going to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Jose Tabata is going to pinch hit for Garrett Cole.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about, Greg. Just any direction you're looking, this ballpark is absolutely a gorgeous ballpark. Even if it wasn't for the river and the beautiful view of the city, it's still a great design with the rotundas, and I think a part of it is the 2 decks. Just having the 2 decks really adds something to it and make it so unique.
And the light fixtures, the light standards. Hey, look at that. Lanny Fratteri has made his way back to PNC Park. Great to see longtime voice of the Pirates catching some baseball. Dr. Jack Fela next to him.
It looked like he might have been keeping score.
I bet you.
I think he was.
He could not be sitting there not keeping score, right?
Yeah.
And what a
got the clipboard going.
Great broadcaster. Followed Bob Prince, longtime voice of the Pirates.
Well over 30 years.
Now works at Waynesburg, working with students, helping them learn the business. He puts on a camp every year, summer camp for broadcasters, and you and I have spoken to these kids, and we mean it sincerely. You couldn't ask for a better teacher in this country. Tabata trying to beat out an infield hit. Ruiz gets him. There was a time when Tabata first entered the league that was an automatic infield hit.
So swinging bunt. You can see how far Ruiz had to go to get that. That's a long way for a catcher to go out deep into the grass.
Garrett Cole finishes his day after 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned. 5 hits. Struck out 7. Did not walk a batter.
We highlighted the excellent work the bullpen's been doing this year. They need 9 outs. Put this one to bed.
Hopefully the offense can score a couple of runs between now and the end of this one.
One more would be nice. Get that lead to 3. Be comfortable.
Day on this day in Pirates history. This date last year, Gregory Polanco, huge day. And the extra inning victory over the Marlins, 5 for 7, scores 3. It's the go-ahead 2-run homer in the 13th inning. Jeanmar Gomez pitches 4 shutout innings for the win. Another great view. Full count. Speaking of Jeanmar Gomez. Utley, a sliding stop, gets to his feet and gets Gregory Polanco. Another tremendous play by Chase Utley.
He's putting on a show with that glove. It came very close on a couple of plays of retiring Marte on some great glove work.
Goes into the slide so he can stop quickly.
Boy,
he got him.
Allegheny Health Network Super Mode shows that he did just get him. Chase Utley to Ryan Howard.
It's like they invented super mode just for the sport of baseball. It adds so much to every broadcast. Even if it's just watching the spin of the ball as it's flying through the air.
Broken bat, base hit for Starling Marte. 3 straight hits for Marte now. Stings a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Got a base hit.
There's another Allegheny Health Network Super Bowl look.
You can see the bat kind of shudder for a moment right at contact, and you saw a nice big crack open up on the handle, but it didn't come apart until he stops the bat. There's the shudder. You see the and he stops the bat, and the momentum of the head of the bat just kept it going and actually tore it apart. Beautiful shot.
There goes Marte, but he stumbles and stops. Something he did a bunch a couple of years ago. Clint Hurdle finally convinced him to keep going. We don't see this much anymore. Goes again. Swing and a miss. Stolen base.
Utley's trying to say that it came off the bag.
Las Diaz not convinced, but maybe Ryan Sandberg is going to challenge it.
Yeah, he's off the bag.
Did he still have the glove on him?
I think he did.
You think he did?
Oh, he's off a second time. Came off twice.
They are going to challenge it.
I think they're going to overturn this one. Watch him as he right there. You see him change feet. He went from one foot to the other. And while he was doing that, there was at one point where neither foot was in contact with the bag. Right?
Is there clear and convincing evidence that the glove was on when the foot left the bag?
Now, the second time, I would say Marte has an argument that he was actually being kind of pushed off the bag.
Fans watching. The fans are kind of reacting to Utley pushing Marte that second time.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's the one right there. See where he's off the, both feet are in the air off the bag. I think that's the one that they're going to be looking at, not the second time, because I think he did push him a little bit.
Saw Mike Scioscia last night get very involved with replay. The Angels skipper. They lost their challenge in the 3rd inning on an initial safe call on a stolen base, and because of that, Scioscia couldn't challenge a crucial 6th inning call when an umpire ruled a runner out, and replay had shown that he beat the throw, Johnny Giavotella. And Scioscia went out there to try and convince them to at least review it, and they refused. When you're out of challenges after the 6th inning, you can at least ask for a review, and he is out. It will go as a caught stealing. Bucks lead 4-2. Las Diaz initially ruled him safe, but the call was challenged and overturned. And Diaz kind of explaining to Marte about the play. As Utley kept that tag on him. And another look as he goes into the slide.
He changed his feet from one side to the other, and that cost him. And if he would have kind of just twisted his body and let his left foot swing around and stopped his momentum like that, he would have been okay. But he decided to stop his momentum, take his right foot off, plant it, and use his left foot to stay on the bag. That's what they were looking at, I'm sure. Camanero's excellent numbers so far this year. Averaging his fastball up there at 98 average.
Ashe pops it foul. Between innings, Manny Lopez, head groundskeeper, came out to talk with Jeff Nelson, who's the crew chief, as there is a huge front coming in from the west due to arrive here. What do you think, Bob? The next 15
I don't know. I
minutes
think
or so?
most of it's to the south, though. So I think we're all right for a little while.
And a ground ball. Play made by Alvarez. Nicely done to retire Ashe.
I think we were in the South Hills or down toward Washington, PA. We might be getting wet real soon. Maybe even now. But we still have time to enjoy plays like this in the dry. Nice little feed. Easy out.
Caminero had a 1-2-3 seventh inning last night. Driven toward right, Polanco. A little late start. Polanco decided to slow down instead of going back. If he sprints back to that spot, he gets the out. He's still learning. Galvis gets the double.
Well, we saw the same thing. Identical. Said the first inning, second inning. There was a hesitation, but he was able to make that snow cone catch. This one couldn't quite get to. And the line drive that's over your head, always a tough one to figure out immediately.
Double for Galvis. He's 2 for 3. Going 2 on Ruiz. Called just as Caminero was about ready to deliver.
Caminero stepping off and get himself back together.
One and 2 on Ruiz. That's more routine for Polanco. Andres Blanco a pinch hit on a new Inside Pirates baseball. Garrett Cole is fast becoming the ace of the Pirates staff and one of the best starters in the major leagues. Francisco Cervelli invites us to root on his favorite soccer team and much more. Inside Pirates Baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network, debuts tonight after post-game on Root Sports. There's the Pirates catcher. Will be back in there tomorrow with A.J. Burnett on the hill.
Oh, they're ready.
And Rich, they've come to the city. Back at PNC Park for a second time.
They are ready to go.
They put on a great show.
Leaning up down against the railings down there, just watching a ball game.
Santa here early.
Looks comfortable, doesn't it?
That does.
It's the main thing. You got to be comfortable. movement out of that. I'm guessing that was a fastball, but could that have been the way that went down? Or could have been at 96. Couldn't be a splitter, I guess. But boy, that had good movement. Down movement. There was a splitter. Change up, whatever you want to call it. See the fingers split wide. Takes some of the back spin off the ball. And makes it to where you can't throw it as hard. I think a 100 on the inside corner, just above the belt. That'll get him. What do you think?
Think so, huh?
Yep, 100, just above the belt. Got to get him. Now they're going to stay away from him. You set up for it. Got to go inside. You can't catch up to that. If you could throw 100 mile an hour, even 98, Greg, would you ever really not throw inside at least once every 3 or 4 pitches?
No, I would certainly go inside.
Nobody could
on more than one occasion.
Nobody could hit you.
Should point out, by the way, Blanco's a 192 hitter from this left side of the plate. He has 5 hits and 26 at bats.
They went inside, but with a slider.
Hitter.
They went in with a slider. The slider from Caminero would be called a cutter nowadays by most people. Away again. You could cover up almost every pitch in this at bat with a straight line. They're rooting for a strikeout. Drive that ball right. There's that straight line. Drive that ball right down through. Right to the inside corner. Went off speed again. Another splitter.
Wow. 99. 3-2 the count on the pinch hitter Andres Blanco.
I'm pretty surprised, to say the least, that there's not one fastball thrown anywhere near the inside corner this entire at bat, and it's been what, a 10-pitch at bat.
Wow.
I guess you got to figure that if he gives up a tying home run, it's going to be a fastball away.
Blanco has hit all of 5 homers in his career. Should be easy for Marte, and it is. We're going to keep it here. Or take me out to the ball game. A long at bat ends with a fly out to left field. As the Pirates are 6 outs away from making it 2 in a row, and Big and Rich going to be performing Fan Jam after this ball game. Fans are going to stand now for Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Smiley Cookie, and join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
On the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot at Pirates.com. Voting exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote early and vote often. Help select the starting lineups for the 2015 All-Star Game. Vote at Pirates.com and vote now. All kinds of way to vote. Justin DeFreitas takes over for Sean O'Sullivan. Sullivan gave up 4 runs on 8 hits.
Thirty games now for Freitas, one of their main guys.
Freitas pitched the 9th inning in last night's game and struck out McCutchen. McCutchen picked up an RBI and a ground ball in the first, and an infield RBI single in the second. Walked his last time up against O'Sullivan. Tony Watson getting ready for the 8th inning. Line to Howard. Nissan Road ahead, the matchup tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully the Pirates will be aiming for a sweep, and A.J. Burnett will make the start against Cole Hamels, starting tomorrow at 1 o'clock. That looks to go 7-2. Cole Hamels still a Philly.
Would you say, Greg, that he might be the biggest prize out there during this trading season that's coming up?
I would think so.
And pitching is always so hard to find. You got a premier starter out there that everybody kind of covets right now. The Phillies are definitely looking to rebuild.
Seems little doubt that they will trade him at the deadline, or before the deadline for that matter.
I think they'd won a lot.
His contract takes him through 2018. So Jonathan Papelbon's contract is up after this season, so he's a rent-a player. The top closers, they'd love to move Ryan Howard. It might be more difficult to trade him. Hamels, they are going to get a bunch of prospects in return.
Yeah, Hamels is going to be the guy that they do well as far as getting a good return back. And that also, I think, probably depends a little bit on how much of the contract that's left on Hamels. Will they kick in anything toward that? If they're willing to do that, they could even get more.
Walker takes off for first after striking out. Pitch in the dirt. Aaron Harang, veteran, could eat up some innings. He's had some troubles recently. Got off to a great start this year for the Phillies. Harrison pops this out of play. Phillies had won 5 straight division titles from 2007 to 2011. They won the World Series in 2008. And they definitely had a win now philosophy.
Traded away a lot of their prospects to maintain that little run they had.
And they signed some free agent that cost them first-round picks, starting with Jim Thome in 2002. Cost them a first-round pick next year. They'd lose first-round picks again in 05, 06, 09, 11, and 12.
A lot of the measures that have been made over the last decade or so for competitive balance reasons certainly have taken effect. Look around the league. You have teams that went through long dry spells having great runs right now. Us, Kansas City.
fabulous shots from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. We have a Point Park University tweet. Remember, hashtag Bucks Booth. Great to see Lanny again, a true Pirates legend. Hear, hear. Lanny Pateri back at PNC Park. Indeed. One of the great all-time broadcasters in the game. Sean Rodriguez takes over at first base here in the 8th inning. Tony Watson reached a scoreless 8th inning last night. Faces the 1-2-3 men in the order. With Jeff Francoeur already out on deck. He would bat for Herrera.
You know, Greg, Tony has gotten so good that aren't you surprised if somebody gets a hit off of him?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, somebody got a knock.
Surprise. Yep. A double for Revere.
Can't get Revere out.
3-hit afternoon. Jeff Francoeur pinch hitting. Francoeur started last night against the lefty Jeff Locke. He was 1 for 5. It's 2-0 on Francoeur. Mark Melanson went through his routine.
No towel today.
Usually has a towel.
Little towel. Yeah. I was going to ask him about that yesterday during his pregame interview, but ran out of time. You don't really. He's the only guy I see that does that.
And there's a line drive base hit to left. This is going to make it a 1-run game.
Chink in the armor for Tony so far.
It is 4-3.
That fastball up and away, or excuse me, up and in. Got turned on. Got turned on and kept fair. A lot of times something up there will be just get the head bat to it, they'll pour a foul. Francoeur, good job of centering the ball and keeping it fair.
Oddly takes ball 1. Sacrifice fly in the first inning off Garrett Cole, who went 6, gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. On 1 count on Utley, came in to this ball game hitting .184 for the year, .151 against left-handed pitching, 8 hits and 53 at bats against lefties. battle Keystone State, the Buccos and the Phils. And Utley lines it to right field. This will put runners at first and third with no one out.
What is going on?
His 9th hit this season off a left-handed pitcher.
Has Watson given up 3 hits in a row all year?
Called to the bullpen.
That could be a first right there.
Boy, Ray Searage doesn't have to do this very often with Tony Watson on the mound.
He did have to do it recently, though. Was it in Atlanta? Because I can remember us kind of talking about the same thing, about how unusual it is for Ray to go out and talk to Tony. He may have even came out in the middle of the inning, if I remember right.
Yeah, he did. After walking Freddie Freeman, they pulled Watson in the 8th inning on Friday night a week ago yesterday. Watson got 2 outs, gave up 3 hits, walked a man against the Braves. And now infield at double play depth to concede a run and allow the Phillies to tie the game. So the game, of course, is on the line here, and Garrett Cole's W is on the line.
Good strikeout candidate, and that's what you need right now. It's almost a must. Gotta strike Howard out.
1 ball, 1 strike.
The sun popped out for a moment or two earlier. Now it's getting dark again. Kicking up.
1-2. Howard 0 for 6 lifetime against Watson.
See the spin and slider spin. Slow-mo. Need 4 Ks.
2-2 on Ryan Howard. He struck out each of his 3 at-bats against Garrett Cole. Three and 2. Franco is on deck. He has 2 hits.
Kind of game-changing moments one way or another with this pitch. Do it again. Will they tie the game? They get the strikeout. Pretty hard out now, isn't it?
Yeah, stiff wind out to left. Wow. Bases are loaded. Tony Watson has not retired a batter.
Remember an outing like this before? Watson a long time.
Antonio Bastardo is ready. toward third. They got to play at the plate. They get one. Now Stewart just wanted one. He didn't think about throwing to first. He might have had a shot at two, but they get one.
For some reason, I don't think he was sure he had his foot on the plate.
Oh, you're right.
It was that bat that messed him up. When the ball is hit, he looks down at the plate to make sure he gets his foot planted. But then right after that, he took the time to kick the bat out of the way. And I think that's put the doubt in his mind. Did I have the plate or not? And at that point, he did the wise thing. Hey, let's just make sure we get one out here. And, that'll give us another shot at the double play. Jay Hay giving him props, saying, hey, good job going back with that foot, making sure.
Another tapper. Watch it quickly to the plate. There's 2 outs. Wow! Oh my goodness, what a play that was!
This is one of those plays that you practice all the time in spring training, and you kind of think about it as busy work.
Yeah, this will never happen. Why am I doing this?
It'll happen once or twice in your career where you got to go sprinting toward the plate, shovel the ball to the catcher. Just doesn't happen. Well, there it did happen.
Oh. Now it's Freddie Galvis to the plate. Buccaneers are fired up.
Yes, they are.
They're standing here as Tony Watson looks to escape out of a bases loaded, no out situation.
Gets Galvis out. This place will make some noise.
This would be the Houdini acts of all Houdini acts. If he can pull this one off.
It's tough to get out of a bases loaded jam like that. Not at least one strikeout.
After a quick couple of strikes on Franco and Ashe, he falls behind 2-0.
Pop-up is always handy. 2 balls in a row have been put on the ground.
Two and one. Galvis a much better hitter from this right side of the plate. .362 average as a right-handed hitter. Three and one. He is 2 for his last 18 against left-handed pitching.
Come on, Freddie, pop it up.
Got to throw him a strike. Bouncing ball to second. Walker to first. That's elementary. That is about as much emotion as you will ever see from Tony Watson. What a job. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he gets.
Saw a lot of
ground
things we didn't
balls.
see there, and including right at the end, Mr. Cool actually getting all fired up.
Jeff Francoeur stays in the game. He goes to right. Ben Revere moves to center. New pitcher Jeanmar Gomez. Saw him last night. 2 scoreless innings for him.
Yeah, he's doing the job for the Phils, just like he did for us. The 2 innings, that's nothing new for him. That was his job around here. Go out when you need multiple innings. Almost half his appearances with us last year, 2 or more.
Sean Rodriguez came out to play first base at the top of this 8th inning. This is his first at bat. Tony Watson. We were sweating that one out with him.
We were.
Ends up giving up a run, but maintains the lead.
Just showing he's human.
Yeah.
Go out and have a rough inning just like anybody else can.
Gives up 3 straight hits, a walk, then the bouncer to Harrison, the out at the plate, the comebacker toward the mound, and the bare hand play by Watson himself to get another runner at the plate, and then the ground ball to second. Two on Rodriguez. Fifth sellout of the season, 37,516. Roller coaster ride in the top of the 8th. Watch Garrett Cole, maybe not pitch his best game of the year, but 6 solid, 2 runs, 1 earned, and 3 outs away from going 10-2. Look out! Right back to Gomez. Wow.
Held my breath for a moment on that one.
He's catching his breath now.
That looked like trouble off the bat. Man. Wow, this will be a sight. Right back at the face. And you know that was coming back out there probably about 100 miles an hour.
Jeez.
Thank you, Glove.
Jung Ho Kang has singled, scored, walked, and bounced out. Tony Watson reacts. Don't have a real good view of that seated in the dugout.
Been sitting next to Jeanmar for the last couple of years out there in the bullpen. He didn't want that when they get him.
Timeout called. Piece of paper in front of the plate. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Nice play by Franco. To his feet and throws a bullet to first.
Franco is going to be a pretty good player for the Phillies. A two-way guy making some nice plays on defense. That's kind of what the Phillies are all about right now. Looking at what they got on this roster, who's going to be part of that future, the rebuilding. Certainly that guy is going to be part of that.
Chris Stewart 0 for 2 is lined out. Robbed of a blue pit by Chase Utley. Walked and scored in this game. Two. Mark Melanson gets ready. 1-2, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Dr. Tanya Hagan, who passed away unexpectedly at the age of 45 on Thursday. She spent a little bit of time helping the Pirates medical staff several years ago. Involved in Pittsburgh sports for a while, and again, our thoughts and prayers, especially her two young boys. Two and two on Stewart. Corey Hart on deck to pinch hit for Watson. Still 2-2 on Stewart. And a good pair, Stewart and Cervelli.
Yeah, what team? Both having catchers that both hit over 300. Nobody.
Full count. A.J. Burnett.
It's like some beard talk there.
Josh Harrison next to him. Burnett goes tomorrow. And a late decision by Stewart to swing. And a 1-2-3-8. So Mark Melanson, not much wiggle room. Yellowwood. How about Starling Marte? He hits in 3 straight at bats. This infield RBI single in the second brought home Jung Ho Gung. He had a base hit in the 4th inning. Unfortunately, robbed of an RBI thanks to Cody Ashe's throw to Carlos Ruiz. And a base hit to right field off Sean O'Sullivan in the 6th inning. Broken lumber there in that last at bat. Starling Marte, 3 of the Pirates' 8 hits. Pirates scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second. And so far that has held up. Big and Rich getting ready. We'll roll out the stage almost immediately after the last out is recorded. Mark Melancon looks to save it for Garrett Cole.
Only 1 blown save this year. 20 chances, 19 have been converted. Hit that first hitter.
First pitch strike. Yes, he did.
It looked like Ruiz has like a toothpick or something, kind of like a little, or maybe a little straw or something.
Yeah,
the straw.
I think it looks like toothpick.
I'm saying straw. Doesn't matter. Still, like you said, like UL. Speaking of UL, hit the shortstop.
Pirates wrap up this series against the Phillies tomorrow afternoon. A.J. Burnett on the mound. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock with Pirates pregame, presented by W.B. Mason on Root Sports. Darren Ruff will pinch hit. Cole Hamels goes tomorrow against A.J. Burnett. Two quick outs for Melancon. Man, he is talking about being back in form. Sellout crowd. 1 out away.
They're ready to dance.
There's a strike. 1-1. Yes. Maybe in just a pitch or two.
Make it happen right here. First 3 pitches.
2-1. Garrett Cole is 1 out away from going 10-2. The last time the Pirates had a Cy Young Award winner, Doug Drabek, in 1990. Drabek at this time in 1990 was 8-2 on his way to winning the Cy Young. Two and two.
Watch this cutter.
just foul. Ben Revere has 3 hits. Yeah, he has 3 hits today.
See the spin on that ball, little side spin, and slider, cutter type spin. They run that ball to where it jumps in right on the label of the bat of the left-hand hitter. A little movement gets it in on top of it.
Still 2-2. Mark Melancon looking for his 20th save. He's converted a career-high 17 straight chances. 19 of 20 overall this season. He is trying to save it for Garrett Cole, who would go to 10-2.
How about a hook here, Brett?
Hook him. I think that'd work.
Cutter tried to bring it over the back corner and just didn't quite make it.
He is battle. 5th toughest man to strike out in the National League, Ben Revere. 3 hits this afternoon, a couple of runs scored, a couple of steals. Mark Melancon again searching for save number 20. Get Garrett Cole to 10-2. Whose ERA dropped to 1.71. Get the Pirates to their 23rd win, make it 34th win of the year. And another foul. I'm going to tell you how Garrett Cole's year has gone. If Melancon can save it for him and Cole gets the win, he'd become the first Pirate to win as many as 10 games by June the 13th since Bob Friend in 1956. Can he do it here? Raise it, save it, and win it!
Pitch at bat against one of the toughest guys in the league to strike out, and he got him swinging. Melancon, 20 saves, sharp as ever.
20 saves, Cole 10-2. The strikeout of Ben Revere, and the Pirates win the first 2 games of this series over the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Buccos go to 34-27 on the year. Continue the best record in the major leagues since early May. Keeping pace with those St. Louis Cardinals, who are leading in the 8th inning over the Royals. What a performance in front of a sellout crowd. And we'll go back to the studio for more with Dan and Teague.